Oh yes, legends. How is everybody doing? Hope you're doing fantastic today. We'll be analyzing the situation here for the price of Bitcoin, that we are taking a little bit of a drop at the moment. Is there any hope here for the bulls to form higher lows? Get your votes in right away here, okay? Because I have that poll. What's the next move here for the price of Bitcoin? Let's dive in right away, straight into the comment section, guys. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. And here we are. Hello, legends. Hope you're doing great. We'll be saying hello to the beautiful community. First of all, make sure to smash up that like button if you do enjoy the content, guys. If I do see lots of likes, then I think I'm doing something okay. If I don't see likes, then obviously, there's something wrong, right? I'm doing something wrong. However, let's just quickly say hello to the beautiful community. We're going to be talking about this, guys. We're going to be talking about this. We mentioned this yesterday on the live stream. We talked about how the price could develop in the next coming hours. So far, we did get a pullback. We did reach the highs, and we created that internal double top yesterday between yesterday's price action. So is this it, right? We're finally getting that rollover. We're coming below 104K. Is this the moment of weakness? And we are going to go to lower prices. Let me know if you're in a short position. Maybe you got into this short trade. We talked about the trading plan yesterday. It was just nice to actually understand the waves, understand the confluence. We either double top or we reached the naked point of control at 107.5K. We're looking for that failed break above the recent highs. And let me know if anybody got into the short position. It's a shorting plan, and the projection is potentially coming back down to the lows. So we'll be going through the scenarios, okay, in today's video update. Is it still looking okay for the bulls here to form a higher low? It's not looking that great, guys, I have to be honest. There is a chance. We're going to talk about the level that needs to hold to give one more last chance, but it doesn't look too great. However, the start of a major impulse to the upside before you get your wave 3 sometimes doesn't look too good, and it looks corrective. And then you get a surprise move, right? So could it be, we eventually need to talk about it because there is an option eventually, even though the probabilities are lower. But we like low probability scenarios as well if we know exactly the level that needs to hold, right? And get a plan ready, what we need to see, right? Because it's all about, what do I need to see for the price to be confident that this is actually going to pump or it's going to reject? Just as yesterday we were talking about this trading plan. What do I need to see here locally for get into a short position? We got the highs right there. We got a naked point of control. Okay, let me just turn this into it was a bit too thick for the analysis, that line. Anyway, yeah, yesterday what we needed to see was speculating on an ABC scenario. What we want to see is the 5-wave move to finish your C wave and potentially double top or get rejected at a naked point of control that we had at 117.5K. So it's either double top or hit that naked point of control. We ended up wicking above here, giving you the short option, stop loss at the high, to potentially give the chance for the bears here. We're going to talk about the possibility of a bounce in this zone because we are going to come into a little bit of support and the price might dance around here. So we need to talk about the bullish outcome, because if we see proof of support and the price does what I'm going to explain, then I think the bulls have a very good chance. Okay, it's all about explaining what could happen on the next move, just like we did yesterday. Okay, we never know if it's going to happen, but I would like the price to move like this. Get the pullback, claim those highs, then it's double top. That gives you your short position in a double top range, right? So there is a bullish case that will be explained throughout this stream. There is a bullish scenario. Of course, it's not looking that great as we're rolling over right now. We are hitting some support, which is literally the value area high of this range. We got some high volume here. But does it make any sense for anything impulsive from here? Not really. It doesn't look that great, but it has a chance. So we'll be explaining what we need to see, right? Anybody that is confused about, wow, should I long now? What do we need to see? Right? I mean, this is support, just a basic resistance, support flip zone, which we are getting a little bit of a reaction right now. Okay, we can understand that. But is it sustainable? Will it get that rally all the way back up to the highs? That's the question. So that's what we're going to break down today, okay? Just keeping it simple, candlesticks, a bit of Elliott wave theory, Fibonacci, confluence, and try and make it as easy as possible for the viewer to understand what could be the next potential move and where are the trading opportunities hidden, right? Because the opportunities to trade, they are hidden, right? You need to map out the potential next moves that could happen in the next coming hours between today and tomorrow, right? And that's where you take action, just like this one right over here when we were trading yesterday in this zone. Would be nice to get a little bit more of a pullback here without overlapping this pivot to then take out the highs and give the chance for that short position right over here, right? As explained yesterday. So we're mapping where the trading opportunities are hidden, right? So that's what we're going to do today for short or long. We look for both scenarios of the market, guys. We need to keep ourselves neutral. We can have a favorite scenario on the higher time frame. In this case, the favorite scenario is the contracting diagonal, which is eventually looking for that rollover, that lower high. Could we form one more high here and then roll over? Absolutely, it's a possibility. So we'll be explaining the different scenarios, and the least favorite scenario is forming, that impulsive move to the upside, right? Doesn't look that great, to be honest, but we need to give it a chance, okay? Because if it does decide to form higher lows here, you could have, between today and tomorrow, that blast off, right? Maybe after tomorrow, maybe coming into, Thursday, Friday, right? So you need to give it a chance, even though the probabilities are decreasing, and I'm going to explain what we need to see, okay? Let's say hello to the beautiful community. Let's go. Let me know if you're in a short, you're in a long. Are you, what comes next? Get your votes in here, guys. What do you think comes next for Bitcoin? Higher lows up to 116K. We've got 48% of people saying that, yes, we are going to be forming higher lows from that 99K low that we formed last week, right? We are going to be forming higher lows, and it's game on, guys. It's game on. We are looking for that big move, wave 3, at some point to kick in, right? And we're just building up those 1-2s. We are just cooking the trend shift here, and we're looking for that move up, which is very, very possible. And then here on the move down to minus 99K, which is the lows, basically testing the lows, we got 52%, slightly favorite for the scenario of rolling over here very, very soon, potentially to form the highest probability pattern to the downside, which would be that contracting diagonal, which will bring a gigantic opportunity. Will bring a gigantic opportunity in this zone. So if we know that there is a good opportunity down there, and the market makers know that there's a good opportunity down there, many institutions, many millionaires and billionaires would want to buy Bitcoin below $99,000, in my humble opinion. Will they give us the chance? Will they push the price down to form this contracting diagonal that has the potential to be an A, B, C flat, okay? From the price action that we had on August, A, B, C flat right there, and off we go to Valhalla and much higher levels. It has the chance. If not, it is a leading move, okay? to the downside, a motive wave, you get that corrective pullback, and then it's bear market, right? However, the bounce is highly likely, regardless if it's going to be going up to all-time high or if it's going to form a lower high and go down and bear market, guys, right? The bounce is high probability. Regardless, you got the bearish case or the bullish case, but the bounce is very, very highly likely, okay? If we do come down below 99K, we just need to see which levels are going to hold as support. We can create a plan on that just in case it does happen. But I think there's, we want to count, we want to go obviously against the herd as well, right? I think there's too many eyes looking at this right now. I think there's too much, looking at this pattern at the moment. So why not form that move up to 116K, right? Get everybody like, whoa, that was a big move that we got, right? Maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. And get everybody surprised after building up this momentum to the upside, right? Because we are uptrending on the, 1 hourly time frame, right? We are uptrending. We were also uptrending here, but we've been downtrending, right, from all-time high. So downtrending 4 hourly, uptrending 1 hourly. As we are higher time frame downtrending, you would expect a lower high here in this region if it were to be the case to roll back down to the lows, right? So it's like your limit zone, right? Maybe to 188, 109K. Yeah, it can reach those levels, but ultimately form a lower high, right, from 116K. Or, surprise, surprise, the move down has finished and we are coming to sweep the range highs at 116K, right? We'll be building up the scenarios. Quick hello to the community, to everybody here. We got 200 votes almost, and I'll tell you what, okay? People will click on the voting. 96, okay, votes here. 97, almost 200 votes, and we got 83 likes, guys. So if you can click on your vote here, you can also click the like button, right? Give us a bit of support, give us a bit of love, guys, because I'm here just to give you my personal opinion, a little bit of education and what I see in the market, where the opportunities could lie. And we do, talk about yesterday what we mentioned, right? To see if everything was playing out on one of the local scenarios. So far, so good. We did create that local double top. We got rejected. We did pull back first, which was the preferred scenario, and then locally formed a double top, and now we're pulling back down. Obviously, we are at support. Anyone that's shorting, you can be defensive, put stop loss near to break even, take some profits, right? You get the deal. That's how we do it. So let's go right away through comment section. Say hello to everybody. Cyrus, how are you doing, my man? Who's in that juicy Bitcoin short? Absolute legend. Absolute legend. 98K. Here we go. Yeah, absolutely. It is a possibility. It is definitely a possibility. Stay safe. Stay defensive. Take some profits on the way down, just in case the bullish case happens, even though there's low probability, which is, priority for the moment is for the higher time frame downtrend. Okay, I have to say, for the moment, there's a little bit of higher priority for that higher time frame downtrend. Okay, it's just this movement up is not looking too impulsive. It could be a end of a three-wave structure. We'll explain it. For the moment, bears have priority, guys. It's been a nice little rally in the last few days, but it's getting a little bit exhausted. We are tapping these pivot highs, which is not giving us many options here for the bullish uptrend to continue, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately, I mean, if you're in a short, absolutely great, right? You want lower. Yeah, here we go. Bing Copper, how are you doing, my man? Andy, you should be live 24 hours. We need you. Much love to you. And nothing really changes in a short period of time, right? We need to give at least a day because, one scenario that we mentioned, yes, the main scenario, really, we were talking about this the first hour of the stream as we were uptrending, right? Another fourth wave, fifth wave, nothing much has changed so far. We formed this kind of momentum and now we're literally trading at the 104K zone, right? So, this has the chance of losing it, right? It does have the chance of losing it. We'll be breaking the scenarios down here. Andy, where are you? I'm here, my man. Boiled potato. Most boring post-halving ever. I know, my man. It has been relatively boring. Bitcoin's really at the same level for the last year almost, right? Many, many months. 100K. We've been at 100K for many, many months, guys. Nothing much. A bit higher, a bit lower. I have no clue where the market's at. Bought some spot last week near the lows. Would been really nice to have sold that off a couple of hours ago before some downside. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're buying on spot, keep it long term, I would say. Noob Andy is back. Okay, if you think so. Andy, ¿qué más, tronco? ¿Qué más? ¿Qué pasa, Rack Capital? ¿Cómo estás? You warned people to take profit. Yeah, I definitely did. Yes, I'm scared. Andy, much love to you, my man. I became successful after watching you endeavor. You are really legends. You're very welcome, my man. Absolute legends. Trading is a personal journey at the end of the day. It's a personal journey. And yeah, at the end of the day, we can talk about, how you can prepare your setups and plans, right? You plan a short trade, a long trade, couple of long trades, couple of short trades, and you try and identify how the price can move based on the waves and the confluence, right? And if that fits in with the price action, then obviously you can take that trade scenario, right? So, whoever's in a short, then absolutely great. Andy is here to bring the gains. Yeah, let's go, guys. Let's go. Can you check CVD? Any absorption? There is actually some, slight bullish CVD divergence. There is. Okay. There are some lower lows on the price action, which is making, higher lows on price action. There are some lower lows slightly, okay, on CVD. Not aggressively. It would be nice to get bit more beneath these lows right over here, a bit more of bullish CVD divergence as we come down to this zone and see some support, right? See some reaction for a few hours. That could signal a possible reversal, right? We ain't looking for V-shaped recoveries or nothing very, very fast, right? We are downtrending. Let's see if we can see some signs of strength and some absorption going on, which is very good question right over there. Very, very good question. Okay, we'll take into consideration CVD divergence for the bullish case on Bitcoin. Okay, we will break that down. Much love, Pathamaria Vallejos. Much love to you. Zek, please. Yeah, we can take a look at some altcoins later on. Nia's looking very interesting, guys. We talked about Flux yesterday. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm not sure if anybody jumped into a long. We talked about this zone holding as support, to sweep either this low or this low. We got two major higher lows on the 1 hourly here on Flux. We swept one of them, which was this one right over here. It would have been nice to sweep this one. Let's be honest. It would have been nice to actually get beneath that low. But I don't know what happened to Flux today. It is actually an awesome project, and we got some pretty decent bullish momentum a few days ago, and a very, very steep pullback here, finding a bit of a floor at the most interesting zone of support, which is this one right over here. We talked about this yesterday. I mean, if you would have been too patient to wait for that low, you missed the trade, right? It's either one of these pivots, this one, it would be nice to sweep up the low and get acceptance above, and the price decided to pump today, guys. And it's a pretty decent pump. I mean, when you take a look at these altcoins, I mean, this is a 30% pump that it had today. Not sure if anybody managed to, but this was the support zone. You don't want to lose these lows right over here because you have a massive inefficiency, right? You have a fair value gap, if you wish. Big fair value gap right there, and you literally don't want to lose this zone, because if you don't have much support when you have such a massive candlestick, you can bring back down the gains that we've had in the last few days. So this level needs to hold, which it did. It did a pretty good job. Of course, you want to see an attempt of breaking down and fail. I mean, there was two major pivot higher lows on Flux here. Two major pivots. You tested this one. You did not test this one. It all depends on your strategy and how aggressive you are. But if you're breaking down and you entered a trade here, you just want to cut your losses, maybe give a bit of room for his stop loss. But it is an attempt for a long. That there's no doubt about it, guys. A fair value gap. If this massive fair value gap is lost, we could come back down to the lows, which is currently at 10 cents for Flux, right? So this needs to hold this zone over here. You can attempt to break down, but ultimately, yeah, I mean, this in the next coming days, this might be coming all the way up to 30 cents again. Big bullish pump, respect the pump, nice pullback. And I think Near Protocol, which we mentioned a few days ago, which hasn't quite got the pullback to the point of control. The good thing about this, guys, is if you haven't swept the major range highs of 2025, we'll dive into Bitcoin, guys, but there's just some awesome opportunities on these altcoins, okay? When you need to detect them, remain patient, see proof of support, and obviously, take the chance, right? Flux, we mentioned yesterday, didn't quite claim that, first higher low, but we did claim the second one. So, yeah, you don't want to lose this zone, and you don't want to get into long positions anywhere in this zone. In this area, yes, but not down here, okay? Not down here. If you break that fair value gap, you have extreme risk of the price really coming back down to the start of the pump. So yeah, Flux is doing awesome. It is a good project, and for the moment, the technicals look okay. You're getting big rallies, big pullbacks. There's interesting volatility here to take advantage and make some gains. So anyway, let's dive in right away through the big, Near Protocol. I mean, Near Protocol, I want to let you know something that's very interesting about Near Protocol, guys, right? Because, I mean, Bitcoin is just getting a bit boring, right? I mean, yeah, yesterday's trade short was an awesome opportunity. We could not deny that, okay? Getting into a short here on Bitcoin yesterday based on the failed breakout of the recent highs, what was a great option? I mean, the price is moving down. What is it? 2%, 3%? I mean, yeah, it's enough to make some pretty decent gains. You leave some open just in case we roll down here. But yeah, I mean, we're doing pretty okay. If anybody got into that shorting plan, the projection is coming down to the lows of 99K. So that was your entry pivot. We liked the confluence. We liked Elliott Wave. It's just, and we understood the plan to get into the trade. You need a rejection from that recent highs of yesterday to get into the trade. So just so you understand where you're looking for the long trade here, the short trade is here. That's where you're looking for the short trade, right? Not in this zone. Not in this zone right over here. If you're trading above those highs, you're literally looking at the next level, which was that naked point of control, which we didn't quite hit. We scratched it. We didn't quite hit it. So this is the thing. When you are waiting for higher levels, this is why we give a couple of options. You have these levels as guidelines, guys, right? These levels are guidelines. The high is a guideline. The naked point of control is a guideline. You break back above this zone, well, we're looking at 109K plus, right? So these were the main guidelines yesterday. Double top or naked point of control. If you break above those levels, then we just go to higher levels, right? So the overall plan was to look for that double top entry here. And that was your entry. Price did go slightly above later on. Doesn't matter. Your stop is at the highs. Stop is here. Entry is here. And this has the potential to roll down to 99K. It has the potential. We'll break down Bitcoin, guys, in a minute, okay? Bullish case scenario is not looking too great. Not looking too great. There is a problem right now overlapping this pivot with this movement down, because the only option that we have is multiple 1-2s. 1-2, 1-2. There is a contracting diagonal. There is an option, but we'll talk about the level that needs to hold. Okay, give us a few seconds here. We'll break this down. Near protocol. It would be not. Let me this is super quick and simple. Okay, Near protocol. You know what is great about Near protocol and why it has a high probability to come all the way to $3.30? Because we haven't tested that zone of 2025. We're just getting a rejection from the value area high. This is the first, big massive pump. And obviously you're rejecting at the value area high of the entire zone of 2025, which is, we are going to speculate very much that this is a corrective pullback. It's going to, corrective pullback. It would be nice to come down to the point of control, but I would say that, this area is going to be the zone very likely where Near protocol gets that bounce. Of course, what we need to understand, based on Bitcoin is the king and the Bitcoin dominance, if you want, as well, which is uptrending for the last couple of months. What we need to understand is that if Bitcoin breaks down, maybe this altcoin could get affected and move down another 10, 20%, right? Which, would literally come down to that region here. 10% would be coming down to the point of control. You just need to understand a little bit of the downside risk. Of course, there are some other altcoins that are just doing their own thing, such as Flux at the moment, right? It's just trying to pump here today. These altcoins can have their own life, spontaneously, right? So the thing about Near protocol, the best scenario is, we could we bounce from here? Absolutely, we could. But will we bounce? That fair value gap. Bear with me here because that point of control changed at the moment for some reason. The best shot here, fair value gap. If you lose the fair value gap, then you're coming down to the point of control. You just need to understand the risks, right? But an SFP from these lows would be ideal. Can we get down there? Potentially. Okay, it would be nice to actually test that higher low after this fair value gap before we, potentially break down. Just because Bitcoin has the risk of rolling over, what can we say? Just because Bitcoin has the risk of rolling over here, then obviously it has the risk of moving down these altcoins a little bit more. But I wouldn't be too fussed about it because you got a big point of control here. Take this at your own risk. If you want to go in with 1% these zones, then okay. If you want to go with 1.5% stop loss beneath the point of control, give it a bit of room. We are targeting those highs. Risk to reward is not that great, so if you wait for the exact SFPs, it's going to be a little bit better. Okay. And if you do lose that first higher low, we're literally looking at the point of control to be the ultimate support zone, right? Where you could add another 1%, right? Keeping stop loss beneath the point of control with a bit of room. But ultimately, you do have good resistance support flip. You're going to have the point of control. You have not tested the highs of 2025 range, which is at $3.30. So we got a projection here, right? We want to test those highs regardless if you SFP them and roll over or you break above them, right? But the overall target for Near protocol in the short term is get to $3.30, $3.40 if you wish. Get to that zone. How do we get to that zone and where have we got the support zone? Well, this red box that I have on the chart is where we want to hold, right? We want to hold this zone, point of control, fair value gap. If the fair value gap here on the lower time frame doesn't hold, then we're looking at point of control. But ultimately, what I would be looking for Near protocol is to move up to the highs, just because we have not filled those highs right there, right? I don't want to go into 10 different altcoins and look for a setup, but Neo Protocol, because it is a solid project and we got this pump and the highs have not been tested, I would give it a good chance to form a higher low in this region to tackle the highs. It doesn't matter what we do later, but it's a good projection that we do have here on Neo Protocol. Okay, that's what I see. That's what I think. No financial advice. You know, this is obviously what I speculate on, purely based on the pump, purely based on not testing the highs as of yet. Okay, so that's what I would be looking here for a Neo Protocol. Anyway, Bitcoin. I think it's time to cover Bitcoin, guys. I think it is about time to cover Bitcoin, right? It is about time to cover Bitcoin. So hello to everybody that is just joining in. Make sure to take a seat and get your coffee. Let's get to 300 likes, man. That would be a mission impossible, I think. Let's see if we do. Let's see if we do. Stafford one, much love to you, brother. ICP warming up. We can take a look. Opportunities for a short on Bitcoin to 99k. Well, we talked about that yesterday, right? Jumping into short down here is a little bit chasing the pump. Okay, chasing the dump, sorry. The opportunity was mentioned yesterday, right? Don't think that the market's going to give you 10 opportunities a day, because it doesn't. If I'm lucky, I'll get into 2-3 trades in a week. If I'm lucky, because most of the time it's just waiting, right? And yesterday we were an entire hour to explain the scenario that I would be waiting for, which is taking out the high, local double top, analyzing the internal Elliott wave counts, confluence, contracting diagonal on the higher time frame, wave 4 here potentially. Absolutely, right? So the thing is about, a short trade right now for Bitcoin. Well, hear me out here. We need to, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy where we at down here. We need a bounce. We need, a test of resistance. We need to analyze this movement down. I would be more interested in looking for longs in this zone, if I'm honest, in short term, even though it's not looking great. I would expect lower prices for Bitcoin. Anyway, quick hello to everybody. Smash up the like button. It is time to break down. Okay, we've got almost 200 likes. That's absolutely awesome, guys. Like boys, let's go. Nightmare here, but affogato counts as coffee. Okay. All right, cool. Smash the likes. Stavro, much love. Yes, sir. Dude, are you a troll or a new subscriber? Jerome. Yeah, Jerome likes to be funny here. We'll let him be funny here. No worries. Jerome's a cool guy. Uniswap. Muy bien, baby genius. How you doing, my man? Nice to see you around. Solid breakdown on Nia. I've also looked at adding into ICP at this consolidation. Say also looking prime for it mark up. Absolutely. ICP, I think, if you did get in at lower prices, awesome. Say is a good project. I think Say is going to do well on the recovery whenever it happens. We need to take a look at the technicals. What's up, Andy, my man? Much love to you. Fast Ethereum chart analysis. We're going to break down Bitcoin, then we'll go dive into Ethereum. Bitcoin is the leader. Okay, so we need to talk about, much love, my man, much love to you more. We need to break down Bitcoin, okay? We need to break down Bitcoin. This is what we do. So anybody that catch that short local double top from yesterday's highs, nice little move of 2-3%. What's the next move? Do we continue to lower prices, right? Let's break down the price of Bitcoin right away. We'll be diving in through the 1 hourly and 15-minute time frame, guys, to try and come with a plan of an entry point, just like yesterday. Entry point after sweeping those local highs, get above 107k and possibly reject. Double top is your option. Stop loss above the high of the break fake out. And do we have some longs, right? Because jumping into a short right now would be like, you're aping in a little bit too late. You should short it here round about the 106.5k zone, right? 106.3, 106 at the latest, right? At the latest. You don't want to, you missed it, right? If you did not jump on the double top, you can jump lower at a few $100s, but if you want to short here, it's late. There is a bullish case, even though there's low probability. So let's break down that bullish case, because we know the bearish case already. We've been talking about it throughout yesterday on the stream, right? This could be the high of the fourth wave. ABC, we create the fifth wave. It could be the high. So I think right now it makes sense to talk about the bullish case. The bearish case, we know it. It's just really, this has the potential to be the high. We will talk about the second bearish option, which would be claiming the high again and then getting a correction. But we just need to break down where the opportunities lie, right? When you're a trader and you do a technical analysis, the technical analysis gets you ready for some setups, okay? So we're going to break down a few scenarios. Short is too risky at the moment on Bitcoin, says Crucified Traders. Nice name. Would stay out till the graph develops more. Well, there was a short trade already to be taken, which was explained yesterday. I mean, if you didn't short the 106k area on the rejection on the double top locally here, obviously shorting down here is not a great option. So higher time frame, guys. Hello to everybody. Subscribe to the channel, smash up the like button. Much love to everybody. He's drunk. It's Tuesday, Andy. Yeah, not drunk. Long time since I haven't got drunk, actually. Anyway, let's dive in right away. Okay, so bearish scenario, higher time frame. We are looking for a lower high. Is this it, or are we going to form another one? Do we claim the highs of today, early this morning, and maybe we form another lower high later, right? But ultimately, on the higher time frame, what has the highest probability to continue the bearish momentum is the contracting diagonal. Obviously, this contracting diagonal is very good, because at the end of the day, what we are looking for is to finish your fifth wave and get a big fat reversal bounce. We do not know. We got some very interesting levels down beneath us. Point of control of the range of 2024 and 2025. Okay, big fat range. Anybody that is not aware of that, it's basically the price action that we have in this zone. Don't know why it's not loading. Got some issues with Tradingview. And the higher low of the 22nd of June, right, which is a higher time frame, higher low. It's a big higher time frame, higher low. So point of control of this range, okay? We've got a big fat range, part of 2024 and 2025. When we get the fixed volume profile, we do have a big solid point of control, okay? Which is sitting at 96.5k. Big level. We do not know if we're going to come down there. I mean, it is a projection. It is a projection based on the contracting diagonal. We do have that projection, right? So the good thing about this is we are looking at a reaction at this zone, and preferably we form a little bit of a consolidation just like we did a few days ago. That would be the ideal scenario, right? Not instantly hit the level and let's all long together, right? Let's just all long as the price is falling down, because it might just break down, right? And then you're like, oh, I'm underwater on the long position. We did not hold. We didn't form a contracting diagonal. You liar, right? So we need to see some proof of support here, guys, right? We got proof of support here the last few days, and we actually got a little rally in the last few days here. So, the price ain't going to do this in 2 days. The price is going to take time to develop some local bullish market structure and some proof of support. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you enter a little later after seeing proof of support, right? Be patient, guys. The trading is all about patience. Unless you're a scalper and you're getting into 1 minute SFPs, right? So, which, could be the thing, right? You're looking to get into 10 trades a day. We're talking about on YouTube here, a little bit more chilled way of trading, a little bit more day trading to swing trading, so we can have time for the, possible projection. That's what we try and do here, because, it just gives you time, right? To take that decision and see if we are reacting and see if whatever I'm talking about here on YouTube is actually coming to fruition, right? Is this dude that talked about this on YouTube, is this coming to fruition or not? That's what you want to check, right, in the next couple of days. Apparently, that double top that we talked about yesterday on that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for the moment, is coming to fruition. So, there must be something that it does fit, right? Something aligns up. It's only technical analysis. It's only trying to come with, this could happen, right? This kind of move could happen. So that's what we try and do here. Obviously, I do not know what the market's going to do, but we can build up what it could do, right? What it could do. So the thing about this would be a very chilled way of trading. It would be a swing trade, and it could take a few weeks to get that pump of $10,000 plus. If we were to come down all the way to this zone, we'll talk about the bullish case, because a higher low is possible, but not looking too great. Okay, I'm going to explain what I need to see on the lower time frame for me to trigger a long position here, which is possible, just like a long position that we talked about here. I think it was. This was on the 25th of October, right? The market was already pumping, and we talked about a long here to take out the highs and even these highs. So there is a chance for a long here, but not as the price is rolling down. Price is moving against me, right? I want to long a candlestick right now that is pushing down after breaking these highs, and the bullish options are not too great. So I don't want to push against millions of dollars that are pushing the price down. I haven't got that enough power to do that. I want to see them bring me the signs of a reversal. So, there is a long scenario. We'll explain it later on. Bear with me here, guys, because it needs to be explained so you can understand it and maybe take action with responsibility. No financial advice, right? On maybe taking the trade or not. For the moment, we are speculating on the favorite scenario that has higher probability, which is rolling down to the lows. So for the bulls right now, it's going to be a little bit. We need to see some interesting moves, right? Which we don't have. We don't have as of yet, but we could get them later on. So I will be breaking that down, okay, in the next few minutes. Give us a minute here. Right. Where were we here? Getting lost. Higher time frame. Easy peasy. We roll down. We get a bounce. Boom, boom, boom. We come down to 99k. Minus, we got 98.2k. Higher low of the 22nd of June. Higher time frame, higher low. And the point of control of the range of 2024 and 2025 at 96.5k. Relax, guys. If we come down there will be time to long. Once we get proof of support, reclaim it, close 4-hourly, even daily candle above either one of these levels. If you want to be a sniper, you can go to the 5-minute time frame, and if you do start holding above one of these levels, then yeah, you can catch the ultimate low level with stop loss beneath the low. Overall, if this holds, we're looking for a big fat bounce in the next coming days after coming down to this low, but it could take a few days, could be boring, it doesn't matter. There will be time to long later on as well once we get a bit of bullish structure. Okay, So this is a matter of being patient. And if you break down beneath this zone, I have no interest in getting into longs at if we lose this zone successfully. Okay? The main reason why is because we could break down in a wave 3, even though it has the lowest probability. We have this movement to the downside potentially being wave 1, this being your wave 2, and this being a 1 2 1 2, and bang, wave 3. That would be devastating. Your wave 3 is getting developed, and we are going below even 90k, never mind 100k. So we want to be cautious, realizing that this is an option. However, this option has a low probability. And the main first reason why is because your second wave 1, this one, is much longer than your first wave 1. That already is low probability. That already, your second, third wave 1s and 2s, you want them smaller in time and price action. So this one is much larger than the first wave 1 in price action, decreasing the probabilities of this being a double 1 2. And then to add less probabilities, we have the second wave 2, also much larger, not only in price action but also in time. That decreases the probability a lot for this to be a 1 2 1 2, because your second 1 and 2 is much larger in price action and time. So that's something that we tick out the box, right? Breaking down from here aggressively in a wave 3 is low probability. So we want to be ready once the price comes down here and dances around, because when we dance, right, when the price dances, we want to join that dance, right, to get into the possible reversal. But we're going to have a bit of time here. Wait for proof of support. You don't need to catch the ultimate low. It's not going to V-shape and leave without you instantly. Doesn't matter catching the low, guys. Get a bit of proof of support, local bullish market structure on the 5-15 minute time frame, and then we can consider joining that movement to the upside. Okay, so multiple 1 2s, low probability. Second 1 and 2 is significantly larger than this one. So we know there's low probability in breaking down here in a wave 3 to get below 90k, right? Or maybe more. So that's a good tick. That's like, okay, good, right? I know there's low probability in breaking down successfully from here. We could get down to 95, 94, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we can come down to this region, but we're looking for a bounce back up above the point of control. That's when we are interested. That's when we realize we are not breaking down and the contracting diagonal could come to fruition. I'm going to be looking at this. I'll probably go live. Well, we need to go through the 15-minute time frame. How did we get down there? Are we bottoming out, right? Because in a nutshell, what you like to see when you move down is at some point get an aggressive move down, which you kind of trying to spot that wave 3, right? That's what we want to spot. I want a big move down. I want the big move down to happen. And then when you slow down is where you look for your 4 and 5. That's after the big move with high volume. Once you stop and get a little dead cat bounce and maybe claim the low again, that's where we are participating in the market, guys. That's when we are joining, because we realize that we are stopping, right? And we're not breaking this low. And the price is consolidating, getting ready for that possible reversal. That's where we want to join, but we want to try and join down here, not ape in as we're pumping. So that's the overall plan here, to try and spot that end of the contracting diagonal in that wave 5 that could happen in the next coming days. That's the bearish case. We could break down in a multiple 1 2, don't get me wrong here, but it's low probability. Okay, as explained. Your second 1-2 and third 1-2 before getting the 3 and then the 4-5, 4-5, you want them smaller. Just like this, right? You're kind of wedging here. You're kind of wedging 1-2, 1-2, bang, right? You don't want the second 1-2 being extremely longer. So that's just to give you a little bit of an explanation. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. So we realize that that's low probability. So we want to really see what's going on down here later on, right? What if we do not come down there? Right, we're talking about this for 30 minutes right now. What is the bullish case? Because there has to be a bullish case where we do not claim the low. There has to be some kind of a bullish case, no matter how horrible it looks. There has to be one. There's always one, even though probabilities are lower. Just like this price action last week, right, or 2 weeks ago. This was looking horrible for a motive wave, and the probabilities were very high to claim this low, which we did after a few days. Probabilities are high to claim this low for the moment, guys. So just so you understand, probabilities right now is in the higher time frame trend of the last few weeks. Okay, based on this pump, that we need to see a little bit of magic for the bullish case, which I will explain in the next coming minutes, but it's not looking that great, unfortunately. So yeah, we had a bullish case here. It was an expanding diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an ABC flat. Let's see if this is going to, get a pump. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look great. We prioritized taking out the low, which it did. This fitted nicely as a WXY. We had a flat in the middle. There was, trying to fit a motive wave here was close to impossible. We had a flat here after an expanding diagonal, very large flat. Expanding diagonals, very rare motive waves. I think it's not this, guys, right? And a WXY was the highest probability to look for taking out the low here later on. So we have something similar here. Something similar, not the same, but we have an issue here to form something bullish, which we're going to try and break down. Is there a chance to not claim this low and form a higher low? Absolutely. Absolutely. There is always a chance to form a higher low somewhere here or here and ultimately reverse and take out the highs. We are trending in the last couple of days. There could be a chance. I'll break down what I need to see for us to be confident in taking that long position, guys. And it's pretty much similar to what I've drawn here. Okay, we need the momentum to stop to the downside. We are currently moving down beneath the valley area high of this little trading zone. It's not great. This is not great here. Not much support at the moment. You're getting beneath this pivot high and this pivot high right there. There's not much support beneath us. If we have a daily or something here, there's a daily level down in this zone. I'm not too bearish scenario has priority, so longing anywhere here is dangerous, at least for me. With my understanding, I'm not interested in a long with this movement down. There's nothing too attractive to look for a long. We can get the anchored VWAP from this pivot low. That's getting lost at the moment. This anchored VWAP from this low that we had on that's coming slightly lower. It's a little bit in no man's land where we have these anchored VWAPs. There's not a major reason for me to get into a long here, unfortunately. So what do I need to see to get into the long? Right, if I wanted to long a higher low here, I cannot long this movement down. me personally, if you have a plan, let me know if you do have a plan here to get into a long. Maybe you see something that I don't see. So it would be interesting to see. Let me know in the comment sections, guys. What do you see? Forget about the RSI or any moving averages, okay? Don't tell me that we're holding the 5 minute, 20 moving average or any of that nonsense, okay? But yeah, would be nice. Let's support Andy, guys. Smash the like button. Much love to you. Thanks and good morning. Maku, much love to you, my man. Crypto by Matthias, send it from here. Yes, absolutely. I know it would be nice to form a higher low. I mean, maybe some people are in a short position. People that are short want lower. The people that are long from lower want a higher low, right? But we have a scenario, Matthias, which is a contracting diagonal. We did actually double top yesterday. And maybe some people are shorting this and want the lows to be claimed, right? To ride those profits down to the lows. But yeah, higher low is possible. However, it's not looking too great. It's not looking too great here, guys, for a higher low. I'm sorry. So what do we need to see for a higher low here? There's a bullish scenario that I did talk about in the pro community today. But we would have to see some magic. There is a bullish scenario, which is a leading contracting diagonal. We would want to form a higher low somewhere in this region to form that wave 4. Not looking great, guys. We are a little bit in no man's land at the moment to get a bounce. So I don't see any good long positions anywhere in this zone. So we need to see something that could give us the long. And I'm just going to keep it super simple, which is something that I explained here in the pro community this morning. If we are going to be forming this contracting diagonal to the upside, a leading contracting diagonal, we're not giving in this any type of priority, guys, okay? This is just pure speculation at the moment. But I can tell you what would be a good sign for this to come to fruition. And it's literally reclaiming these pivot highs, which we just lost right now. We can turn that into the green. Value area high. And these pivot highs that we literally lost. I mean, I wasn't too confident that this was going to hold really at this moment, purely based on what we mentioned yesterday, guys. This could be the high, right? We claim the highs one more time above 107k and we double top. That's it. We roll over because we have a valid 3-wave structure completed after getting that correction yesterday and that movement to the upside. Right? So, I don't see anything here that can hold and look for a long when we're talking about the waves, the resistance, and the higher low scenario here does not look great. Do not look great. This is highly speculative if anyone is long in here to form a higher low. I can tell you there is a interesting scalp long position only and only if we do come down to the point of control. There is a decent SFP from these lows just because we have that point of control there. Anybody that's looking for a confluence, catch the low, sniper trade for a relief rally, okay, look no further. Higher lows with the point of control of the range of the last week. That would be the only best interesting long if the price is going against you, where you can get a reaction and jump on the reaction. Quick jump on the long here up to the VWAP. Up to the VWAP, maybe up to the value area high. But session VWAP I'm talking about, right? Wherever that is later on. It's a scalp. It's a reaction bounce, quick scalp, high leverage, stop loss beneath the low of the SFP, entry point. You're bouncing and you're in your favor, in your flavor. And you be defensive and take profits, take advantage of the bounce to take some profits. That would be the only speculative quick long trade that I see here, guys, right? Point of control, higher lows. You get an aggressive wick. The more aggressive, the better. The more aggressive you move down here into this zone, the better it is for a bounce. Because if you come down here like this, then I don't like this. This is like testing the lows. I won't be looking for an SFP down here if we're just doing this. The faster it is, the better it's going to be for the quick relief rally SFP. You don't want to come down here, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? And I wouldn't be interested in this SFP because you could just lower high and finally break down. The faster it is, the better. So anyway, that's just a quick little scalp, guys. Quick little scalp. Obviously, I would be eyeing the VWAP. I wouldn't say that this is the long trade to take you to Valhalla, right? To take you to 116K or maybe the highs. It could, but I would treat it as a scalp. I would really treat it as a little bounce because ultimately we are downtrending, right? We could form a lower high and just go down to lower levels. What would be the other long trade setup? This would only be a scalp. What would be the long setup for me to be confident that we are going to form this ascending contracting diagonal, leading diagonal in this case, because after this fifth wave, we would want a correction and then ultimately a higher low and pump back up. But what do I need to see here to get into a trade targeting the highs at 107.5K? I would need to see the price at some point bounce above the value area high and these pivot highs. We would have to see at some point the price moving up and reclaiming that value area high, which could get a pullback down fast or slow to then look for the bounce here. I would prefer to see some kind of a corrective restructure. It's always nice after a pump to get a retracement and this, right? That's always nice. Then you can jump into the long. We don't always get this, right? But that's the ideal scenario. Reclaim the major level of resistance right now that did not prove as support. And obviously at some point look for that pullback and detect if this is very, very corrective, channely, bull flaggish kind of situation. That's your level of interest for a possible long with stop loss above the higher low, because what you would be speculating in this move is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Take out the highs of yesterday or early this morning, right? So we need that reclaim. We need the first sign of strength move up, reclaim value area high, these pivot highs that we lost, that can back test them as support if we get a nice push up here. Could this continue up like this and rally all the way up to the highs? Maybe yes, but we need to be patient. We don't always get what we want, right? The price gives us what it wants, not what we want, but we can understand what we could be looking for, right? So this is something that we could be looking for to get into the long. The only longs that I see available as we're losing and we're getting inside of this value area range is literally the aggressive SFP from the lows. Okay, aggressive SFP from the lows with the point of control. It's just a little scalp. And if we are going to form this contracting diagonal to the upside, which is a possibility, we would have to see this sign, okay? Because we are in favor of the bearish scenarios on the higher time frame, right? I'm in favor of the price going to lower prices. But if the price gives me a reason or a signal that we are going to, potentially move all the way up to this morning highs at 107.5k, I need this price action first. I need this price action. Big pump reclaim of value area high and these pivot highs that we had in the last few days that could backtest, maybe this time as support with the value area high, to then get into the third wave, right? 4 and 5, claim above 107.5k, maybe go to slightly higher levels, but that's the overall target. So that's what I need to see, guys, right? We need to see a reclaim in a nutshell, right? So that's basically it, guys. Okay, that's basically it for the bullish case. Hope you enjoyed my drawing. But with the levels, with the confluence, with Elliott wave theory, we are beneath the resistance. We're not holding our support. Multiple 1-2 setup here is also having a little bit of low probability, unfortunately. Okay, and I'll explain why. Contracting diagonal, the one that has just recently been explained, could be a good option. Leading contracting diagonal, okay, could be an option. But we need that reclaim of the value area high and those pivot highs, okay, to even believe or think that we're going to bounce here. We need that bounce, then we can join later on, right? Get that first initial sign of strength. That's your long in zone, stop loss at the low. What I would be looking at is eventually this, right? To claim the highs. That would be my setup here after the reclaim. So the other bullish scenario is a multiple 1-2. From the lows that we have here, what we do have is the pump up, right? Okay, that could be a wave 1. We got a retracement higher low, that could be a wave 2. We got another pump here, that could be your wave 1 and your wave 2. Usually your second wave 1 does get above the first wave 1. That's what usually happens, but we could label this. And then this another wave 1 and this another wave 2. Is it possible? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2? Possible it is. However, this third wave 1, as we can see, is the largest wave out of the 3. And that is not common. It is not common to get your second or third wave 1 the largest. So, you're like really looking for the bullish case scenario, which has low probability, right? When you look for it, if you're looking too much for it, it's probably not that, right? However, you need to give that an option. And this would be a little bit very similar to the contracting diagonal speculation, which we would have to reclaim, guys. We need a local shift on the 5-15 minute time frame of price action. We need a pretty solid shift. Break local downtrend. The local downtrend needs to be shifted. And then, we can speculate on that 5-wave move to the upside. But because all of these scenarios have low probability, contracting diagonal, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Contracting diagonal, if you have a corrective possibility, it's probably the corrective scenario. If you have a contracting diagonal, never the highest probability. If you have multiple 1-2s, but your third 1 and 2, your third 1 is much larger than your previous wave 1s, decreases probability. So what we would have to see here is, as explained, your first local bullish change of structure. And then we can speculate on the 3, 4, 5. But we would need to see this first, right? So yeah, I think it's dangerous to try and catch along with the price dropping here. It's just, it's not, we're a bit in no man's land. No man's land here. Scalp long down here. Better long with confirmation, reclaim, the value area high and get a corrective structure so we can join on that move up to possibly claim 107.5k. That's what we have locally here. Not much more has to be explained. It's literally that here on Bitcoin, on the major levels of opportunity. For the moment, slightly in favor of the bearish case, which is the original one that we talked about yesterday. Local double top, fake out above 107k, double top or naked point control, value area low, a lot of resistance here, and we're looking for the rollover, which is kind of what is potentially happening as we speak, right? It's potentially what we are looking at. Let's go through the comment section. Say hello to the rest of the people that are joining. Smash up the like button if you do enjoy the content, the education. How many people do we have? We have over 500 people. Make sure to destroy the like button. Welcome to the channel. And if you are interested in trading, make sure to check out the links down below. We got BTCC with up to $10,000 in rewards. You can trade stock market here as well, and gold using stablecoins such as USDT. And you also have bluffing with that 20% cashback, guys. They gave you 20% cashback on your deposit that is used to increase your capital for trading. Take advantage, guys, of the links down below, okay, to trade on one of these exchanges. I know most of you already trade there, but whoever doesn't, you have the links down below. Also supports the channel. I like the last possibility. Yeah, the last possibility is the most bullish one, right? The multiple 1-2. Yeah, it has a low probability, unfortunately. It has a low probability, right? This is like looking for bullish scenarios in this uptrend, right? Looking for bullish scenarios in this uptrend is like, oof. When you finish this move coming down here with this price action, man, bullish scenarios to continue the uptrend momentum after this price action was not looking good. Multiple 1-2, low probability, you know, expanding diagonal for your wave one. Maybe we have a flat here. You know, we were already realizing that there's a good chance that we claim the low, guys. Okay, just be ready for it. It's just the highest probability. So we have something similar. I wouldn't say it's not the same, but it's similar, where we are running out of bullish scenarios here. The bullish scenarios are not looking great. We would just have to see a shift, guys. It could flip as soon as I finish the stream. We could suddenly get that pump here, which could save the day to get above 107.5, reclaim value area high, reclaim the pivot highs. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 is your most bullish option. You get 1, 2, 3, boom, you start breaking out here like crazy. And everybody's like, well, what the heck happened? The reclaim could be your first sign. You would have to give it an option. This is the decision moment for the traders. Are you going to take the chance? Are you going to put stop loss here? Are you going to enter? Are you going to manage risk? You're targeting the highs first of all. Could it break out? Absolutely. That's your confirmation, potential sign of strength. If you get a solid reclaim of value area high and you move in a corrective manner here. If you want a bit of solid confirmation, you would want to see shorts entering the market. Local bullish CVD divergence. If you do get that pump up here and a corrective structure with a bit of absorption, you want to see the lower lows on the CVD, right? Higher lows on price action, back testing the value area high and that pivot high of the last few days. Hang on a minute, I'm in the middle here, right? And that can give you a bit of confidence to saying, okay, I'm taking the shot here. I'm longing, stop loss at the low. Let's see if we can form a 1, 2, 3, break the highs. This data is important. Local divergence from the recent higher low, if that were to be the case, reclaim of the levels. If you do get a corrective, channel-y structure and you get people shorting and there is absorption, the price is not doing a good job here of moving to lower prices, then what we're looking for is that long position. CVD divergence, guys, very powerful tool to understand that people are entering into shorts, which creates liquidity to the upside. This is a zero-sum game. You need people to short to get that pump. People that long here are just going to create more liquidity to move lower. So yeah, CVD is very important. It's very, very helpful to take internal decisions, realizing what's the sign of strength, what's the sign of weakness, legends. And if you do like that education, smash up the like button. Anybody that wants action on the 1 minute time frame, this is not the channel. We're very patient. We understand the structures, 1 hourly, 15 minute, what needs to happen to have priority, to take advantage of the moves that gives us the highest probability. ABC movement here could be an option. ABC movement to the upside could be an option. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here could be a possibility. If we form this 5-wave move to the upside, a local double top, or the rejection from that naked point of control at 107.5k, one of the two levels, this is your guideline. We are looking for a double top or hit this high and reject. Right? That's the overall trading plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get that push up. Okay, literally this. One more low, one more high. Get into the short on the rejection on the double top. I do not know what's going to happen, but we can project a few scenarios that could happen, and how we need to literally find an opportunity. We try and detect how we can move. I don't know what the price is going to do, guys. What we do have is a bit of knowledge and experience on seeing how the price moves and what could happen as the price develops. So yesterday, this double top was the option for the short trade, and you have a good projection. We could be heading down to 99k in the next coming days. So whoever's in that short, very good. Very good. Let's go. Great content. Much love. Thank you very much, my man. We do try and explain scenarios, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, because I do talk about 3, 4 scenarios. But what is most important is not speculating on, because I get some comments, right? You might see the comments, especially on many other channels, that are just like, could the price pump? Could we got the tariff thing, this, that, and the other. We talk about a few scenarios, but what is interesting is, as we do talk about the scenarios, as mentioned, we're a little bit in no man's land here. It is dangerous to long here. It's just rolling over. We do have the chance of the price going down to the lows in the next coming days. So what we would have to see for the bullish case, and as we understand that the price on the 5-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame, doesn't move up doesn't move up like this, you would see on the lower time frame that it moves up like this. So it's incredibly important to reclaim these pivots and the value area high for that. Yeah, you want to see a pretty steep move up here. This has to be a pretty interesting steep move up, and then a bit of sideways choppiness, right? A little bit of sideways choppiness coming down here, and the 50% to the 7/8 Fibonacci is your zone of it needs to hold. right? So that's what we would have to see, right? I want to join later. I don't want to long here because I'm aware of the price rolling down, which has the highest probability for the moment. So yeah, I don't want to long anywhere here and speculate. I don't know, where should I put stop here? Speculating on the higher low 1212. There's low probability at the moment because this wave is longer than this one. So multiple 1-2s is low probability. Contracting diagonal is never your favorite scenario. You would rather, if you have a solid corrective structure, you know, that would be your favorite scenario, right? With the one that looks more obvious. And the contracting diagonal, you never want to speculate on this, on that wave 4. I mean, there was some bullish CVD divergence, but yeah, I would have to see the first leg up, guys. You know, we have a pretty solid ABC scenario here. So you want a strong move up and a corrective move with local bullish CVDs, and see if that value area high is going to provide support. Yeah. That would be the only moment that I would say, okay, it has a chance. But you need that first big push up first, and a corrective channel-y structure with lots of overlap, and preferably bullish CVD divergence, right? Lower lows on CVD, people shorting this pump like crazy, which could then fuel the liquidity, right, to claim the highs. So, I mean, this could happen. We just need to wait to see if it does, and then take the decision. I hope you do enjoy the content, guys. Anybody that got into the short, just make sure we have dropped over $3,000 at the moment. It's not a massive move, but it's still pretty decent. About a 3% move from that double top. If anybody entered, it's nice to collect a bit of profits, be defensive, leave 30, 40%, 50% open as a free trade, with the potential of coming down to 99k, but take some profits, right? And if we get that bullish sign, it might be interesting for a long to take out 107.5k again. And there's not much more that I can talk about. I'm not sure if much is going to happen here. So there will be time to look at the other scenarios tomorrow. Yeah, we do have, what do we have here? We do have a point of control in this region at almost at 110k. Weekly naked point of control. If we break above this zone successfully, I would not be interested. Will it be interesting for another double top here? If we were to climb up, would it be interesting for a double top? I have to say it will be interesting just to speculate on the contracting diagonal. I have to say, you know, it could be a speculative double top scenario. You attempt to break above the highs and fail to do so, and then come back down. I have to say, just to give a chance for the contracting diagonal, yes, that it could be a fifth wave that fails and ultimately correction, and then we move to higher prices later on throughout the week or next week, right? This could take several days. It's still a big resistance. We haven't tested the naked point of control. We were just a few dollars short the one that we have from the previous Monday, right? When you get the session volume profile at 107.5k, you do have a naked point of control. It was slightly scratched. We didn't quite hit it. So it could test the highs and fail. It's still a big resistance zone. Value area low. Still is resistance. I would be cautious. If we're trading above this level, then I would say we're going up to 109, 110. I wouldn't be in a hurry to get into any shorts if we are going to break above 107.5. I would not be in a rush to short anywhere here. Only if we do create that swing failure pattern. Could be an option, stop loss at the high, then looking for a larger pullback. Only if we reject. If we're trading above this zone, I don't want to be in any shorts here. And what's going on here with Tradingview? It's going a bit crazy. Let's go through the comment section. Can we take a long here? I'm not sure if you have just joined the stream or you haven't been listening. Now, I have my doubts. I'm not sure. You probably just joined, Srujan. Yeah, long in here is, it's a little bit dangerous. We could form a higher low, but I'm not liking it. We don't have incredible support here. We don't have incredible support. We are inside of the value area range. I've explained what I would want to see to join a long position, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you are targeting the highs, right? Because when you in a local uptrend, if you are longing, you're targeting the highs, right? If you're long in an uptrend here, you are targeting the highs, right? It doesn't really matter if you're long here. Yeah, it's a great catch. Or if you're long here with a little bit of more confidence, little break of local downtrend structure and a pullback, finding support. Your target is the highs. So long in here, there's a little bit of danger. There's not enough support. The bullish case scenario doesn't look that great for a higher low. So I would want to see the reclaim of the value area high and these pivot highs. And then maybe I would consider the long. But it would give me a little bit more confidence. I'd be a bit more confident in longing that and that, reclaim of the value area high. So let's go through comment section. Much love to everybody. Thanks for smashing up the like button. Oh, almost 300 likes. That's awesome, guys. Absolutely great. What about ICP? I bought my spot bag at $3. Yeah, ICP. I have to say, ICP, I did unload a little bit of my spot bag because my average buying zone was in between 5 and 6. And as soon as we crossed $8, I had a bit of profits and I just wanted to lock a little bit of my investment. Okay, I wanted to literally get some of my money back that I invested in 2025 on this altcoin. I do think that ICP could do well in the next coming weeks. It's just pulling back aggressively. And it's, I think ICP, it is super important that it does hold the highs basically here at the $6.30 range. We came down in the few hours getting a bit of a bounce, but what would be nice is bottoming out here, right? Ranging a little bit in this zone for the next coming days. There's it's very, very volatile. It would be nice to slow down this corrective move if it is going to be so. And you got all of these pivot highs of 2025, value area high. So there is a good chance that ICP does hold this area, right? We're going to give it a bit of a big range. The pivot highs and the value area high, the green box here. Lots of pivot highs at the $6 range and the value area high coming at $5.70. We're going to give a chance for ICP to hold this zone. I had to sell on the pump, guys. Nothing is very sustainable when you rally like this. The question is, could it rally more? I did see ICP. I was down over 50%. I did, invest over $50,000 in this. I was just buying 5,000, 10,000 throughout this range of 2025. And, you know, all that went down the toilet. And I thought, you know, I'm gonna at least take almost my investment back if I get into the profit. And I had the chance the other day. So I have a moon bag still, I still have a significant bag. I just wanted to recover some of the funds, right, that I invested in this. So I have almost a free moon bag right now on ICP. And it looks good, guys. Let's give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. A lot of people were saying that it's maybe a short squeeze, right? Crypto is done. Bear market for Bitcoin and crypto. What I don't understand is we have been in a bear market on most of the cryptos anyway throughout 2024 and 2025, right? We've been in a bear market. So, you know, how can we start a bear market if we literally, you know, a lot of cryptos have been bearish throughout the last few years? We've been downtrending. We have been in a bear market, right? Since the 2024 pump, we've been in a bear market on most of the cryptos for 2 years. So yeah, I mean, it's you need to give it the chance now to get that recovery, right? But obviously we got resistance. We are downtrending, so maybe the bear market could just continues, guys, right? The risk is of Bitcoin getting into a bear market, then altcoins just to follow, right? But there's been some good signs. There's been some good signs here right now. We have been in a bear market for years, right? When are we going to get it? The question is, you know, when bull market, right? We have a chance. It might be a very short bull market just to finish November and December with a few pumps of 200, 300, 400%, right? 3, 4, 5x maybe, and that's it. That's good enough for me. But yeah, we flipped the local downtrend. We haven't flipped the higher time frame downtrend, unfortunately, here for ICP. So it would be nice to flip this zone of resistance into support in the next coming days. So if we slow down in this region, guys, there's going to be a good sign of a bounce. So let's just see, right? Let's just see. We only just come down to this level. I don't expect a V-shaped recovery. So let's see if we do slow down, consolidate a little bit. Flux right over here, a bit of the same scenario, right? We had flux coming down, massive pump down, and you're slowing down here, right, into this in level of interest, which is the longing zone. You don't want to break that fair value gap. That's your longing zone, you know, interest. Not going to dive in on the 1 hourly time frame on ICP. Don't think yeah. Thanks for the amazing TA, Andy. It's always good to have someone as experienced as you navigating us through the confusing times. Much love, my man. We try and look for, you know, daily opportunities, small little swing trades. I don't think ICP is going to pump anytime soon. Well, we did pump massively, so it makes sense, right? This pullback could take a few days, right? A few days. We're downtrending. It's slowing down. I have to say, it's slowing down, and that's a good sign already. But you want to see it slowing down a little bit more, right? Get that bit of more sideways momentum. But yeah, this pump is more aggressive than this move down. So let's see if it does round off a little bit more in the next couple of days. That could be a good sign. $6 range is good support. So let's see if it does behave. So yeah. Andy, my man, what have you done with your link? I still hold all of my chain link. I still hold all of my chain link. I haven't sold a single link. Okay. I had a target. I was going to start selling at $30, and I have a lot of link. Yeah, I have a lot of link. I still have it. It's in the profit. Most of my chain link was bought in between the $5 and $9 range. So yeah, I mean, I'm still in significant profit, about a 3x on average, right? My plan was to sell at $30. It still is. I'm not going to sell on the move down. No chance. No chance. We don't sell when we move down. No chance. ICP, same thing. ICP, we went down to $2, $3. Not selling, guys. I'm looking to get a pump to claim above $6. Then we'll probably sell on the pump, which I did. So, yeah, Chainlink's still holding the bag. Chainlink is a good project. It's going to do well in the future. We're just going to have to navigate the downtrends. Most of my Chainlink was accumulated in this zone. As many of you know, anybody that's been following the channel, I've been on YouTube since September of 2020. We went through the bull run, previous bull run, and the bear market, and the bull run again. And you know that in the bear market, once we're flooring out here, we formed this floor. You know, anybody that's been following it for the last few years does know that we're buying here. And I did like a weekly reminder. I'm buying a bit more. I'm buying a bit more. Buying some Chainlink. Buying some Chainlink, guys. Great range. I think this is an accumulation. We were trading here for over a year between 2022 and 2023. There was time to buy a lot of Chainlink. So, yeah, I did buy quite a lot, guys. So it's in the profit. It's it's in the profit. I was hoping to claim this high again, which we still have a chance, don't get me wrong. So I will start DCAing out above $30 whenever that happens. Right now we're just still pulling back. A lot of uncertainty, but I'm not selling. I'm not selling, guys. Down here, only above $30. I will write it down if we need to. Yes, that is pure Wyckoff accumulation type 2 as well. Perfect spring markup. We talked about this spring back in the day. This one played out. ICP didn't play out very well. It was followed by the biggest liquidation event in crypto. So we did not quite get the spring point on ICP at $4. We went down to 2, which was, I got stopped out on a trade, which was fine. But, whoever bought ICP below $4 is very happy right now, right? Well, it's in the profit. So you had a chance to sell a little bit, take a bit of profit, leave a moon bag, right? But stay defensive. But yeah, Chainlink's perfect spring point here. Wyckoff schematic too. Big multi-monthly accumulation with that classic spring point. Sweep up the lows to just then absolutely blast off, right? We were very much aware of that being an accumulation. So yeah, good spot here. Baby genius, absolute legend. Andy, thank you for all of your calm sanity, sir. I always watch you during intense chop. Thank you very much, my man. Much love to you. BTC moving down again after a tiny bounce from 0.5. Yeah, Bitcoin, like I said, there's not much to do here, guys. Regarding longs, I mean, you could be in that short position already, as explained yesterday, right? Yesterday was as we pumping, shorts look interesting. Yesterday, what we need to see, we almost exactly got this. We double topped. Naked point of control was an option, but we did not quite reach it. Missed it by a few dollars, and a local double top was the option to maybe come down to 99k, guys. So longing right now is a bit of an issue. Is a bit of an issue to long here. The bullish scenarios, as explained, don't have the highest probability. And what we need to see is a sign of strength, which for me at this moment is at least getting above the Valley area high with a pretty decent pump. And then, yeah, maybe then this correction could be looking very interesting to claim 107.5k plus. But I need to see this first, right? We're a bit in no man's land at the moment. So will it bounce or not? Well, yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. I just don't have a trade here. I don't have a trade. Anyway, legends, thank you very much for joining today's stream. Baby Genius, Meds, much love to everybody. Thanks for smashing the like button. Almost 300 likes. We can get above 300 likes. I'm very sure about that. Thank you very much for joining, guys. Remember that BTCC and Bluffin, they got great bonuses down below. Great way to support the channel at no cost at all. You're only getting the best bonus available. $10,000 in rewards. The more you trade, the more airdrops you're going to get on BTCC, okay? And on Bluffin, you got 20% cashback, okay? You are instantly eligible for all of this as soon as you sign up. Either first link or second link. Bluffin, BTCC, okay? Much love to everybody. Thank you very much. Staffer1 was around. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, Singularity X, Baby Genius, Merds, everybody. Take care. You have a collab with Jason Casper and Crypto Life for Sam when BTC hits all-time high again. Yeah, I did a collab with Crypto Lifer and Jason Casper and many of different crypto YouTubers. It's always good to get them on a channel. Keep the community healthy. Be friends. Much love, everybody. Stay safe. And I'll see you tomorrow.